I ain't beast on 100, you heard?
You are tuning in to T Consciousness. Please like, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you. What's going on social media? It's T Consciousness, and I'm back at you with a subject matter to speak on, which is modern day society. You know, in this modern day society, people live up to standards that really drive them from their purpose of design as men and women. I have a list of contents of the sociological order of today. Number 1, individualism. There are secret societies that want us to stay self-absorbed and driven to do whatever by any means necessary without the help of others. This brings separatism and it destroys unity amongst a nation, families, men and women, to annihilate family and legacy. Another one is materialism. It forces people to live up to obtaining things that money can buy to solidify their value as a person. This makes people greedy and needy for attention and validation, and can also be used as a void-filling tool. Popularity. People live up to being popular by doing anything regardless if it brings shame or fame. People live up to feeling important enough to be involved or the center of attention or the talk of people's conversation. Social media plays a big part in people building their social profile up to popularity. Another one is hypersexuality. Nowadays, people have no order of etiquette of sexual conduct or presentation. Anything sexual is acceptable and found desirable, especially when debauched women showcase themselves explicitly until they get sexual objectifying approaches they may take offense from. I also see fashion is getting different. It's strange. You know, men's clothes are getting tighter and they're becoming feminized. And, you know, men are becoming emasculated little by little through like the structure of fashion trends that's being, you know, promoted for men to follow. I see there's an agenda behind that, and they're using rappers and, you know, black entertainers to wear dresses and makeup and man purses. They're getting glued down frontals and beards in ways that women get weaves installed. It's like modernized men's grooming maintenance is becoming parallel to the beautificational process of women getting weaves and stuff. You know, so men, we need to remain as men. You know, we need to play our role that's assigned to our biology to live up to, that society requires. It's in the law of the universe. It's in the quantums of the universe that men survive with women. And women have their biological assigned role. But society is trying to make men and women equal, so there is no difference between the two. To distinguish male nature from female nature, we got women acting like men out here and men acting like women. And that's out of order. Another thing I would like to speak on is the sociological order of the modernized date economy and how men and women get together and survive. It's like the women set this narrative that the man should pay for everything. And if he's broke, he's a joke. But I know man is supposed to provide and protect and lead and lay the foundation. But they weaponize that attribute that's assigned to man to provide to their advantage. You know, and I think this is a part of the system that's set and designed for the fall of man. And it pedestalizes woman. And this is backed by religion and constitution and marriage laws. But that's a whole nother subject matter to get into. But I'm going to stay consistent in what needs to be said right now. It's like they predicate the value of man based on what he has to monetarily offer. And this shows the ulterior motives of women that follow these ideals and push them. And I'm here to tell men, you have to know your value and you have a right to have standards too. You can only get a return on what you invest. But if you don't obligate a woman with your standards and expectations to invest to get a return, which is the benefit, those benefits they talk about that makes them a prize. They're only a recipient, because everything that makes them a prize is pretty much the rewards she gets that they market their beauty to receive. At the end of the day, she's just a recipient. Actually, dude, you're the prize, because all the accolades and stuff she get come from you. And you giving, and men are giving women all these things that solidify them to be bad bees and stuff. And all this is based in what they receive from that man. You know, so you got to rethink who you really are, dude, you know, and know your value, your purpose, value your mind, your body, your masculinity, your resources, and your time, because your time is your life clock. There's nothing wrong with spoiling a woman and treating her out to something. Don't get me wrong, but she has to do something to deserve that. Just showing up to the table looking sexy with a slayed lace front and baby hairs and lashes and nice makeup and a sexy outfit on doesn't make her the table. It makes her company at the table. And she's a recipient. She conceives a baby from you. She receives money from you. You buy her a car, you buy her a house, buy her clothes and stuff, buy her food from wherever she likes to eat. Those are prizes that she receives. It doesn't make her the prize. It makes her a candidate to receive these things. And if she did little to nothing to earn these things, she doesn't cherish you or really love you. She's just living off you. Until another guy come along who can offer her more or something, or she can really connect to a guy for his vibe, his personality and stuff. But that's a whole subject matter for another time. Another one is normalizing the use of hard exotic drugs. The use of recreational drugs is highly promoted through entertainment to be okay to use. These drugs augment people's minds into wild behaviors. These chemicals open the portals of a person's mind and spirit to be taken over by the influence of these drugs to do anything and become hooked to it. The practice of using these drugs becomes a lifestyle, and the behaviors that are symptomatic of addiction get trended on social media, and people get fun out of it and indulge in experiencing the high of these drugs that take them on roller coasters of psychological states. Another one is violence. Violence is getting more out of hand. People are quick to react in violent ways before they think. It's a thing to resort to regardless of the magnitude of a situation. At the end of the day, this is modernized people's way of proving a point that they're not intimidated and they have power and they're not to be messed with. We have poor systems of problem solving and mental and emotional coping skills. You know, we lack literacy in fundamental areas that bring life stability and harmony. Another thing I want to speak on is how they teach sex education nowadays. You know, sex education, it's structured in an organized way to obligate children to disassociate from their biological generic identity, or to choose to be the opposite sex, or choose to be non-binary, you know, before they have developed into a state of mind to really know who they are sexually as an individual. And they're already pushing agendas on them through school and through cartoons and TV shows and movies and stuff, maybe even in music and stuff. There's a lot of things that go on. That's another subject matter I can speak on. You know, the pillars of conditioning society. You know, there's 5 pillars of how to condition society, the colonial system. Number 1 in that hierarchy is constitution, you know, and then religion, and then education, and then nutrition and media. And I will speak on those things in another video. But I don't want to, you know, sidetrack and keep rambling on and go off course here. You know, all these life practices set a lifestyle that I spoke on in the modern day society hierarchy of contents and its structure. All these things set a lifestyle to practice. And when they're perpetuated, it becomes a culture. You know, everything I listed in the contents of modern society's hierarchy of social order really meant to carry out the agenda of the depopulation genocide that is set by the CIA and the Family Plan Organization. You know, we are where we are today based on evolution. As time goes on, things change, paradigm shifts take place, and every 9 years is a paradigm shift cycle. Right now, we are in the 7th year of the paradigm cycle we're in right now. 2023, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 equals 7. 2026 will be the first year of the next paradigm shift cycle because 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. And in universal paradigm cycle mathematics, when you get an equation of 10, you have to add 1 to 0 to get 1. You know, so, and also I see there's an awakening taking place in consciousness. This is where the true God is. It's connected to our divinity, our soul. And once everybody turns back to their original state, we'll be where we need to be, especially the melanated groups of people who are connected to the 12 tribes of Israel. God will return, you know, as we return to him through consciousness. As he returns to us through spirit and consciousness, you know, we'll be connected with him. There's a lot of content that's coming out that's waking up people to the nature of men, and men are being woke to the nature of women through YouTube content within the manosphere. You know, a lot of things we live up to keep us separated from the true God within us, our heritage and our spiritual tradition, our spiritual traditional practices that's been demonized for us to stay away from. Religion is another system that people rely on that psychologically handicaps them from doing self-work. So they're vulnerable to be codependent on a supernatural deity beyond them to magically do all the healing and fixing. Religion also separates nations from other nations. But that's another subject matter for another video I'll speak on. That's based in colonialism. Constructive criticism and accountability, responsibility seems like too much for these emotionally sensitive people in these modern days to handle. People may take what I'm saying as judgment or ridicule and dehumanization. I'm not here to be fighting my people. I'm here to be enlightening my people. You know, it's time for us to get out of living in the lost value system. I personally study psychology, biology, sociology, astrology, and evolution, economy, history, and spirituality. I look into things to empower myself with more knowledge so I know what I'm talking about in subject matters and debates, or if I want to put out content elaborating on these things, being an influence of the minds of people to make an impact in a positive way and make a difference in the world and people's lives. Once again, it's T Consciousness. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time when I put out my next content. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe and hit the notification bell.